My name is Thomas Horry. I had my injury in 2010. It's quite easy to sit at home and not put yourself out there, which is what I was doing for a while. But once I had that support, it really enabled me to grow and build my confidence. Just going out there and actually proving what you can do to yourself and seeing that other people actually realise that as well. After my injury, I first had connection with the IPF about 2 weeks after my accident, I think. It was on my 18th birthday. They came and they presented me with a signed England shirt and kind of made the introduction, who they are, introduced the charity. At first, my house wasn't adapted, so the IPF also kind of spoke to my family and showed what support was available to them in terms of grant funding that you can get to make adaptations for your house in these kind of circumstances. And as the adaptations to the house was more than that grant amount, the IPF also managed to support us with funding to kind of cover the cost of that, knowing that we had that support and then eventually I'd be able to have an environment that was suitable for me was kind of reassuring. I went on a tour boat sailing trip with the IPF. As it turned out in the time, it was quite, I wouldn't say traumatic, but quite an eventful experience. So we had really choppy weather, so I suffered quite a bit from seasickness. Yeah, although it wasn't the best experience there, I definitely got a lot from it, and it was really good to kind of spend that time almost challenging myself a bit. As well as the sailing trip, I also went on a ski trip with the Injured Players Foundation. So we went to Andorra and we done skiing. Having the opportunity to do that was great. Spending time with other injured players as well. So a massive social trip as well as having that experience of skiing. So yeah, that was definitely a positive experience fully. It was almost like an extended rugby tour with skiing going on instead of the rugby.
He's a typical rugby boy, really, and that's he's got a great personality. He's the life and soul of the party. He's great socially. He's very, very bright boy as well. I don't think we should underestimate that. He's been a fantastic addition to the team.
I could have gone to uni without the IPF help, but I don't know if I would have gone to uni without the IPF help. I had such low confidence, but when the IPF connected me with the vocational support, that helped grow my confidence and actually kind of challenged that thought whether I could complete a degree. I ended up qualifying my business management degree with a first class honours, which obviously I was delighted with. And from that, I've also got full-time employment at the Heart Sports Partnership. So at the end of my degree, I got a promotion and a full-time contract. So as well as the degree, there's a chartered management element of the apprenticeship, so like the apprenticeship qualification. So when I went through endpoint assessment and completed that, I also got another promotion at the organisation. So yeah, very happy with how the studies have gone and what it's led to. My first ever sports development project that I undertook was the development of wheelchair rugby sessions. GBWR, Great Britain Wheelchair Rugby, came to us and they were looking to run a couple of taster sessions locally. From that, they turned out to be quite a success. So we had 6 or 7 people, which might not sound like a lot, but it's enough for a wheelchair rugby team. It's just kept growing from there in Hertfordshire, and now we've got well over 20 members. And yeah, it's a thriving club and kind of doing really well.
I'd say Tom is probably one of the greatest success stories. I remember when he first came in through the front door, and I know he won't mind me saying this, but he was a little bit short on confidence. He'd been through real trauma in his life, and to see him now in terms of what he's come through. He came in as a volunteer. We then were able to secure, with the help of the IPF, an apprenticeship at the University of Hertfordshire. Tom came out as the top student with a first class honours degree, and as a result of that, he has now made 2 career moves within the partnership. So I can be nothing but hugely proud.